How you doing, Tyler?
What's up? How you doing, Dave? It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, man. Always is. Always is. Got a lot of news going on for you guys this week. Obviously, it is the World Cup week. That means in just 48 hours, we're going to start with the festivities. The actual competition is Saturday and Sunday, but you know Epic, they like to throw a good party, so everything's kicking off Friday. I'm super excited. I think that's when all the creative stuff is going down.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So Ninja will be there, all the usual suspects. You guys are there. I'm jealous. Should be a lot of fun. But anyway, this week we got a lot of cool stuff for you guys. We're doing a VOD review again. It's kind of becoming a new segment, and I really enjoy doing it. I know Tyler does as well. So hopefully you guys are, gleaming some stuff out of these. Then we have a couple of pieces of news. Not too much. Thankfully, Epic didn't drop a massive game-breaking patch a couple of days before the World Cup, which is kind of what we've expected. Then, as usual, some hot takes, some clips of the week, and if you have any questions, send them our way, put them in chat, and we will get to them at the end of this episode. All right, let's hop right into the VOD review. So this is from a player called Brecci, I think.
Yes.
So he's going to land a Mega Mall here. Finds a player immediately, has that burst SMG out. I'm not really the biggest fan of this gun, but I mean, it is okay at the very beginning.
I love it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, if you get headshots with it, it's just like that burst rifle. If you get a nice steady shot, it's going to do a lot of damage.
Right, definitely. And immediately takes out a player there, which is good. So he's able to pick up a quick tack shotgun, uses that to great effect to get himself a second kill. So all right, he's already gotten himself a couple of kills. This is not in arena mode, we should note, but so there's no siphon. So this is a problem because although he's gotten himself some early kills, which is good, he has 25 HP to work with, which puts him in a really dangerous position right now. He's not really going to be able to win any fights where the other person's remotely competent. So he's got to get some healing ASAP. Yeah,
he was able to come across, I think, an airstrike in that chest, but just skipping right on by that, he needs to prioritize other things. And does get a nice kill there, but doesn't get any loot to help him with his health issue. And now still going through all the chests around. I mean, there's plenty of loot to try and pick apart here, so he has plenty of chances as long as nobody really finds him. Yeah,
exactly. Now he was holding that band-aid for a little while. I'm a little bit confused as to why he didn't pop himself up to 75 right away. That last ice cream cone, because he did eat an ice cream cone.
Everybody loves ice cream.
75, yeah. You don't love ice cream, you're a monster, and I don't know what to say.
Ice cream,
unless you're lactose intolerant, then
it gives you health. That's just a fact.
So yeah, he's been using those to some good effect. Obviously, still not at full health, though. Yeah. So he really needs to find some shield. Needs to find a few more ice cream cones, apples, something that can get him to at least that 100 HP mark. Because if you're below that 100 health mark, it is really, really difficult to play super aggressively in the win fights. Like, you have to be very, very careful because there's so many things that can do 100 damage, right? All the weapons that are kind of scaled to not be one-shot kills are scaled on the basis of 200 health.
Well, also, if somebody sees you before you see them and shoots you, say, while you're traversing the field or anything like that, you're definitely going to need at least some shields to kind of react and survive. And right here, he was lucky enough to find somebody before they found him trying to leave the same area and getting some shots in the back. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I like the idea with the flintlock, at least to try and reposition him. So just throw off your opponent and do whatever you can. Luckily, found the shields finally.
Found himself a mini. So that was a pretty good fight by him. I mean, he got the jump on that other player. He saw him first, was able to get some shots down, but he did use building correctly there. He didn't push himself to a maximum height advantage, which was honestly at this point in the game intelligent because you don't get mats. Again, he's not playing in arena mode, so he didn't get any mats for siphoning, right? So you wanted to use the minimum amount of mats possible there to kind of conserve your econ for later. Here, another player, he does find him after kind of running through that slipstream. Pretty good with the edits. I'm impressed with his edits and his matte
really
econ right now. Yeah. So and then here he's playing aggressively. He's actually looking. Oh, that's actually gonna hurt though. He's got 50 health now. He's in trouble. I really like this. This is cool.
Wow. Good call. I love him how he ends up juking out there and then kind of gets under the floor. So I might even think that he's hiding in that box right above him.
Exactly. So he's going to put himself back to 75, but again, that's just not enough, right?
He doesn't have a lot of mats left either, so he is in desperation mode.
Yes, he is.
He's got to win this fight.
This is the thing with the
aggressive,
fights.
So he might have mats too.
Yeah. This is the thing with these early fights, though, especially in non-arena mode. Like, because you don't siphon, you actually have to play this, like, very intelligently. Nice shotgun shot there. Manages to do I think that was, like, 50 damage or 60 damage? I couldn't quite tell. Without taking any himself. So, considering his player...
Oh my God. End the VOD right now, because that was just beautiful.
That was nasty. And
that's why people hang on to that, man. That is so versatile.
Definitely. And he's even able to use some of this campfire that his opponent left for him, find some mini shields. So this is actually a really, really big play. And is he going to get to the 100 HP? No, it died at 99.
Yeah, and also, did that guy have any materials whatsoever?
I think he probably did, but you have to remember, this game is like the first storm hasn't even started to really move yet, right?
Very true. The player did seem aggressive, so I had just assumed, say he might have had probably a few kills of his own, so I thought he should have had at least some mats on him, but my whole thing is that guy didn't have any at all, and now getting shot again as he tries to leave. Oh, but dip right back to the campfire. Too bad it's still not lit, though, for him.
Yeah, it's not lit for him, but there's a med kit right there, so I'm kind of surprised that he didn't drop the Band-Aids. Try and use one of that med kit really fast. Get himself back up to full. I'm not entirely sure he's fully aware of where that opponent is, though. Oh, now he knows for sure. And a nice snipe there to do some quick damage on him. Good building, but he's got very few mats, so he's got to be very careful. He has none left to build with. A nice kill there. That's actually, again, like, he had just enough mats to build over there. Like, just enough. So he's going to use the med kit here.
Yeah, he wanted to use the med kit after this fight. He ended up pushing the guy after getting to 75 HP and then kept that med kit because he knew he would probably take a few shots regardless trying to push this guy. So I like the play. It was really smart.
Yeah, definitely. And look at his items now. So he's got the flint knock. As we've seen, this guy's already, I mean, he's very good at repositioning with it. So
is he going to get shot again in the slipstream? Because that's happened twice already. Stay out of the slipstream, Brecci.
At this point, he's got some... it doesn't look like he's got the PTSD from entering there, but I might at this point. I might be like, this slipstream is danger.
He's inviting people now at this point to shoot at him.
Well, he's got to be feeling good, right? He's got 6 kills already. The first storm hasn't even closed in yet, so he's doing very, very well in terms of aggression.
It pains me, though, when you say the first storm hasn't closed in yet. You're right, but also look at how many people are left. There's only 23 people left in the lobby.
Right.
It's a shame that there's not more.
Yeah, you could have been on a really nice path here to picking up more kills, but there is somebody that he is going to find, and he's going to get the drop on that. Is that a rocket launcher?
They get the builds really nicely there.
Yep. He manages to get one hit off with the SMG before the stair build comes back in, and he's going to there. Oh, nice job.
Yeah, he kind of in that situation, you're kind of testing your opponent, right? So he's shooting a couple shots with the AR, and it's not an SMG, so it has a slightly slower fire rate. So if you're able to tag your opponent at least once, you can get a little bit more aggressive because they're not used to getting bombarded like that, or they're just not ready to adapt that quickly and turbo build.
Yeah, definitely. I like how he kind of baited with the pickaxe too. Like, he put out the pickaxe as if he was going to, just try and axe it down, and he had a feeling that edit was coming through. Now here he's going to run into the storm so he can use the slipstream. Pretty intelligent. Again, he didn't really want to necessarily go much further than he had to use the slipstream, but he did lose 16 HP for it. Now, it's not the biggest deal. He does have 100 shield at this point.
Find some apples, you're all good. Find some ice cream, has he got birthday cake yet? No, that was today, so no, he doesn't.
That was today. This video's from about a week ago.
He's got options.
Definitely. And just look at this guy's oh my god, he finds somebody right in the slipstream on top of him. Another build battle, and so far he's shown us that he can do this. Nice edit there.
Yeah, he's got
the height advantage. Yep, he got the height advantage very, very quickly on this player. He's got the gold combat shotgun. Like, at this point, he's just got such great loot that it's going to be very, very difficult. He's got all golds.
He was just playing with that guy at that point. That was fun for him.
Well, at this point, he's just kind of going to keep riding the slipstream, and this is why I'm so happy that there's so much more mobility in the game. It really allows you to be aggressive, have fun trying to hunt kills, and you don't have to worry anywhere near as much about making sure you're right next to the storm or moving forward, right? Like, you don't have to just keep holding forward the entire time just to make sure you get there. You can kind of use the slipstream to his advantage. Now he's going to hop into the divot here, see if he can find a couple players hiding down here or still looting. Or
I know that the slipstream has saved a lot of players from getting caught in the storm many times. If it wasn't for them, you'd have a lot, probably maybe even less people in the lobby at this point.
Oh, definitely.
But you can tell that he's using it to max effectiveness, and I like still keeping the flintlock just solid goal for everything. But he's like, I need this. I got 162 shots to bounce me, bop me all the way across the field. And he's attracting people to his location, so he doesn't seem to care.
No, I mean, at this point, I think it's very. He's
trying to get as many kills as possible. He wants them to contest him right now.
Ooh.
Oh, taking fall damage. See, I'm glad he did that because he was in this weird area of, even if you find a med kit, did you want to waste your time for the 14 HP or the 16 HP? But now there he goes, getting the next kill. So there he's got the med kit. Now he's gonna be able to use it. So perfect time to find that.
Yep, definitely. But I think there's one more player there.
Oh, now he doesn't even have to use it. He's got the
campfire. But
on that.
He just has to be careful here because there's another player here. Ooh, gets the trap down and the stairs, and that is going to be another elim with multiple traps coming down into that 1x1. So
yeah,
he played that third party very well. He got the first kill. He kind of baited the other person in. He knew, like, this guy's going to want to push me. He's going to see my campfire, think that I'm weak, and he has the launch pad as well.
Yeah, he puts the campfire down and then edits the floor right when the guy gets on top. So imagine being that guy when you're trying to pickaxe and you don't even get one swing off and you're falling through the floor. You're like, wait a second.
Yep. And
what's
then all
happening?
Of a sudden, there's traps, there's stairs, so you can't shoot him. Like, you're just in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, putting those traps on two walls that are 90 degrees from each other. So instead of one across the other, either way, as long as you put multiple traps down, it's going to be nearly impossible for them to avoid.
Yeah, exactly. Because the only way to avoid the trap is to go to the far wall of the 1x1 and really be pushed up against the wall. So by, as you mentioned, doing it at 90-degree angles, like, there's literally no way to do that, right?
Yeah.
And even putting it across, putting them, 180 degrees is still effective, but that just is guaranteed psych out. Now it looks like he's found another player here. Yes, he has. So he's just going to keep building up again. Good building form. Nice edit and insta-death with that shotgun. That player only had 80 HP, it looked like, so that was an easy kill for him. So he's sitting pretty. He's got 13 kills. There's only 11 players left in this game. Now he's going to shoot out the builds over top of that jump pad, or the launch pad, excuse me, so that he can hop onto another player. Like, this guy is just flying around the map, just hunting people down. I love it.
He's finding a lot of fights, too. Oh, that was just perfect. Once you connect with a shot that solid on the first one, you gotta be aggressive after that. Oh, but he eats so much on that shot. He still has one shield, though. It's okay, everyone.
Yep, he's still got one shield left. He's got the campfire for himself. He's got a couple of minis, so he's going to be back up at this 150 very soon. I'm not entirely sure he's perfectly aware of where that player was. He's going to have to do a little bit of exploration here.
Yeah,
he does have a launch pad.
General direction.
Yeah, but I mean, it's pretty obvious at this point. Now. Yeah, he's got that. And the nice use of the heavy sniper there to blow out the entire build and just take all of that down on that player.
Yeah, that was just dumb on the other guy's fault. Oh my god. This guy
I love this guy's use of the flintlock, man.
Beautiful
this is
work.
Fantastic. And just so aggressive, too. Like, he was pushing that player across from him, and he's like, wait, there's somebody here? I'm going to kill this guy first. I don't want to get into the middle. And that was actually the smart decision. The worst place you can be in Fortnite is in between two people on opposite sides of you, right?
This guy is nuts. I love it.
I do, too. He takes the shotgun shot, edits the stairs. Nice. Wow.
He just fires the flintlock up from one fort to the other, and then catches himself on builds, and then builds above the guy, traps him. Beautiful. Right. I mean, I love it.
And at this point, like, the other thing that we haven't mentioned in a little bit, but look at his mats. He's not at all concerned now about
That's what you got to keep doing. If you chase enough players, if you're able to beat them with the minimum mats you have, eventually you're going to run into somebody that spent their entire game farming for you.
Yeah, basically. I mean, that's always the worst feeling, like, when you.
Thanks a lot, brother. Wait, you saved me a lot of time.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like the worst feeling when you land somewhere and you don't really see anybody. So, like, well, I might as well just, like, stock up on mats right now, and then you just get jumped by somebody who's infinitely better than you.
Right? Isn't that terrible? That's like those 0-kill games where you're looking the whole game for one guy, and the one guy you find is this guy.
Yeah, and he just finds you and just immediately removes you.
Yeah, this is looking pretty great. He's in very good spot. Center portion of the map now. Like, Tilted's going to be where the game is pretty much ending. So if there's anybody who's aggressive left, they're going to be filing near that town. So he might have a couple more hard fights in front of him, but he's fully kitted. He's good to go.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
he's got to have the most kills in the
game ending at Tilted. because there's so much, like Tilted is a weird spot. Any place that's like super populated is kind of a weird spot when the game ends there, because it really does restrict how much you can build, right? There's so many things that you need to be cognizant of, and so many like in-game structures that you can't edit. You have to like, you can mine them, obviously. It's not quite as bad as a mountain, but it is pretty bad in the sense that you're not really able to build as fluidly as you might otherwise like if it just ends kind of in the middle of nowhere in a valley or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure you don't take more fall damage here. So that's good slidage. He's got a lot of if you wanted to go towards Tilted, they're baiting him with a lot of those supply drops, but you don't need anything at this stage. You just got to wrap up the last few kills here. He's trying to grab that 20 bomb. He still has it in his grasp.
Yeah, definitely. And he's looking for it for sure. Nice shotgun shots there.
This guy
nice
doesn't
edits.
know where he is.
Oh yeah, that guy was just completely lost. This is kind of the problem with no arena mode, right? When you're not playing arena mode, right? Like it's very difficult to know how good the player you're rushing is. Some of them will obviously be capable and competent, and some of them not so much. And that last guy looked a little bit better than the second last guy he just killed, but both of them no match for him. His gold shotguns, he's got the minis, he's got a chug jug there as well, and he's got these chug nades, or that's what they're called, right? What
yeah, the chug splash.
Chug splash. There you go.
So that play, it's funny because that's kind of the good example that last kill he just got. It's a good example of like if you were in a regular fight using somebody's momentum and their own attacks against them, and just focusing on counters and using counter attacks as your main form of offense. Right there, he knew that guy was aggressive and he just healed up, and that guy knew he was trying to heal, so he assumed he was weak. But he ends up just kind of just letting that guy do his thing, edit its way in, and then when you catch that small window, knowing, like anticipating when the edit's coming, just connecting on a solid shot and just throwing your opponent for a loop, thinking, oh, I thought this guy was a bot. And suddenly he catches you when you edit before you can even catch him. He's like 4 steps ahead of you.
Yeah, that's the mind games in Fortnite that make this esport so interesting. I also love where that supply drop is, just sitting on top of the slipstream is like total bait. Like he's very intelligently not going for it.
If it lands in the slipstream and just goes sailing through the slipstream, you have to catch it. That'd be tough.
That would be. I don't think I've ever seen that. If anybody has ever seen that, please send me a video of that. That would be fantastic.
We were that close to greatness, man. And so was he. He just missed out on this 20 bomb.
Yeah, just barely. But he does see that there's a player here building. This looks like season 2 Fortnite with the old 4-story 1x1, right?
Yeah, and guy didn't even build up above enough ground, so he's gonna get covered right now.
Yeah, he's in some trouble. And again, you just see him putting all of the nice shotgun shot through the window edit there.
He's saving his best for last, clearly.
Yeah, and this guy has no idea where he is. It took him a second. Now he does, obviously, because he just ate a shotgun shot through the window. Yeah, most of these builds are his, right? So this is a problem for his opponent right now. You definitely, when you're in a build fight like this, you want to make sure you have control over as many of the builds as possible. And when you don't, oh no!
He was trying.
I can't believe he just did that. The disrespect is real right now.
I
love that level of confidence.
He's still going for it.
Oh yeah. Well, how can you not, right? You know you're not getting the 20 bomb. There's only 3 players left, so you're fighting one of them right now.
You're gonna taunt them as much as you can.
Yeah, my question would be, where is this last player at? Okay, well that,
in a bush somewhere.
A 1v1. Yeah, maybe.
When you have a player this good in a lobby, usually the last player left is that person that was just very good at hiding. That sometimes is how it goes.
You're not wrong, my friend. You are not wrong. So now he's got to outrun the storm, but obviously, the storm's circle is small. I think he did just see that other player there to his left.
He has every tool imaginable to make this guy's life a living hell, so let's see what he's going to bust out on him.
Yeah, well, he's still got, 2,300 mats, or 2,400, excuse me, so he is in fine shape.
And he's going to use every single one just about right now. Live streams are off.
Difficult.
Uh-oh. Oh, he's lucky he didn't get stuck there.
Yeah, that would have been a bad ending to this game, right? So he's got 17
the
kills.
game's really good. It had such a bad ending though. Should I send it in?
Yeah, I assumed it wouldn't be that when you upload it. You're assuming that it's pretty good. So maybe you were right. Maybe this player's just hiding.
Yeah, he's got the lowest of the low ground right now. This
guy's in a lot
I love
of
a strategy here. Doing nothing. Oh, he
Ate the
tried it.
shotgun
He had
shot
to
and
try
called
it.
in. Yes,
Once you see this player, if he's not baiting you, you got to go for it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a pretty safe bet that, you know, you have the skill gap, and there is the final shotgun shot. Wow, what a game.
That was
So his use of the flint knock there, I have to say, was absolutely fantastic. Like his ability to just, you know, reposition with that thing. I mean, I liked how he was using it to move around the map. Obviously, it did cost him a little bit of health at one point, but clearly he wasn't worried about that. He knew he had the skills to recover that health by killing people and finding either, you know, bandages or shields or some combination of the two. He found a lot of campfires that game as well.
He was kidded with the campfires. I mean, he had just about everything after his third or fourth fight. So he just started getting better and better from there. That you could tell he's used that flint knock many times. Mm-hmm. He's very used to it, and it works out very well for him when he gets a hold of it. That is a dangerous weapon, man. That should be a little bit higher on the pool, I think, or the tiers of weapons. Maybe it should be an epic or a legendary. The way that you see some of these pros getting away and using it, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's just like it's a very high skill cap weapon, right? Because it's not really used for shooting at people super often. It's used more for positioning and pulling off little crazy maneuvers like that. Now, at the end, he wasn't able to pull that off. That would have been too nice if that was how that game had ended.
He would have had multiple clips of the week in that one VOD.
Oh, I know, right? I mean, that one kill where he just flint knocked himself up and then shotgunned into the one by one.
Silly.
Yeah, that was incredible. That got a legitimate visceral reaction for me. It was like, ooh, damn, this guy knows how to play his Fortnite. But yeah, great job, Brecci, or Brecci. I'm not sure.
Yeah, put some respect on that man's name.
I don't know how to pronounce it, man. Haven't you met Italians that have the double C and it's the chi versus the key?
I have. No.
Yes. I don't know, but regardless of how you pronounce it, very impressive.
If there's any listening to the show, please invite me over for dinner sometime.
Oh man, that's true. Italian food is fantastic. The only problem with a VOD review like that, unfortunately, is that, you know, because he was so clearly better than everybody that he encountered, like there was never a fight where it's like, oh wow, this is kind of even. I wonder how he's going to maneuver out of this. There wasn't really a place to stop the VOD and kind of analyze a very specific fight, because most fights were just either the person was completely unaware, or, you know, even if they were aware of where he was and were, you know, somewhat capable of putting up a fight, the skill discrepancy was too vast. It was too big of a difference, right? So that might have been his warm-up game before Arena. I'm not sure. My guess, though, is that that's a high-tier Arena player.
Well, we call that what it is. We call that a pub stomp. That's what that was.
Yeah,
and
that's
I mean, and that's not that that's a bad thing at all, because he's gotten to the point of his skills gotten to the point where he can do that and have games like that. I can't have a solo game like that. If I have a solo game like that, I'm uploading to YouTube. You're going to see me tweeting about it. I'm going to be telling people. He's just, you know, I bet you could tell from his playstyle, he does this on the regular. He's very controlled.
Yep.
His edits are very creative. His use of the slipstream is perfect. Even when people are trying to best him, stand on top of the rings and shoot him, he's able to juke you out using the air and just undercut you, and using that flint knock, traversing properly, going from base to base with it, and just owning everybody. He did run into you could tell in that final five, a couple of skilled players, but that very last guy, like I said, when you have that many players that are that skilled in a lobby, like you did see a few of them that he came across, and him included, you're most likely going to run into that last guy just being that guy that's like, oh, is the coast clear? You know, you never know, but that happened to be that right there. So it was a great game though all around.
Yeah, definitely. So shout out to him. Great performance, and I'm sure we will see more of his gameplay in the future. But let's move on to the news from this week. So obviously, with, you know, the World Cup coming up, thank God, Epic basically said we are very, very tentative to make any big changes. You know, they didn't say that, but the patch notes this week reflected that sentiment. Not a whole lot to discuss. Yeah. So there is one new gun. It is the Storm Scout. Yeah, Storm Scout sniper rifle. Yeah. So basically it's an epic legendary, and it does 81 or 85 damage for a body shot, but 202 or 212 for a headshot. So it is a one-shot kill sniper rifle.
Yeah, it's pretty effective. I mean, this is not going to be something you're going to see in the World Cup this weekend. It's a little too new. There's so that's already been stated, but for people that are still playing the game, like leading up to the World Cup and even practicing for the World Cup, this is a very interesting tool because that one feature on it that makes it all the different than all the other sniper rifles is that embedded weather map, as they say, and you can see where the upcoming storm circles are on the mini map.
Yeah.
Which I think this is exactly what that backpack was that leaked seasons ago on Fortnite. It was probably like a full year ago. There was an something called Eye of the Storm. I believe the name of the item was called, and it was a shot of it in game. Somebody showed. This is before like creative and anything, and they showed you what it looked like in the inventory menu, and it said that it was a storm tracking tool, but it was like glitched, wasn't supposed to be widely available. And it looks like that this is finally something that they're introducing now in Battle Royale. I know it was something they've had, I believe, in their main game, but now it's something they've been tinkering with and finally got involved with Battle Royale.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of Pathfinder from Apex, and I like it.
True. Very true.
I like that mechanic. You know, it's like something that, you know, maybe there's something similar, like there's a better, obviously there's, you know, better sniper rifles. So you're taking a slightly weaker sniper rifle for the ability to know and plan where you need to go over the course of the match, right? And for that intel, I mean, that intel is very, very valuable. Being in the right position can mean a lot. So I think this is a cool weapon. I don't think it's going to be in the World Cup.
No, they've confirmed it's not.
Perfect. That's good.
They said that nothing actually in this update. So the presents and birthday cake are also that are involved in this update with the second birthday of Fortnite.
Yeah,
they are also not going to be in the World Cup. So pretty much anything from this patch, it's so that tells you right there. I mean, now they're starting, I think, to walk that line and kind of put their feet in the water a little bit and get used to possibility of separate weapon pools for competitive and for casual.
Yeah, definitely. We will get to that in a little bit, so I don't want to get too much on that topic just yet. The birthday cake, I felt like could have gone into the World Cup, to be honest. Like, it's just another on-the-map consumable. You know, there's already coconuts that kind of give you 5 health or 5 shield, so this is kind of just like a 5 health, 5 shield. I think one of the was it the bananas or the chilies? I feel like something did that.
Bananas.
Bananas, right? So it would have just been like the same thing as bananas, and I feel like that, you know, I don't think any competitive players would have been in uproar over putting it in, but I understand it's easier to go, do you know what, we're just playing the World Cup on the previous patch. Like, we're just not implementing this patch at all, rather than trying to like import one thing without need or without necessity, right? So that definitely makes sense to me. And you know, it's new, the birthday cake, but it's very standard. There's not really a whole lot to discuss there. It's super simple. The birthday presents are interesting. So those are legendary. And they come in 6 different variants. So you can, when you open a birthday present, you can get one of 6 different possible loot packages. I'm not entirely sure what those loot packages are just yet.
I was also curious about that as well.
And I didn't get a chance to play any Fortnite today. So unfortunately, we don't have too much intel for that on you guys. But through the grapevine, I have heard that you can actually build a 1x1 with birthday presents.
Yes. That's going to be, I think they did, if I'm not mistaken, that's similar to how they were when they brought them in last year. You just throw it down and you're instantly in a box that has pretty significant health on the walls.
Yeah. So interesting mechanic, because not only does it give you, you know, items and potential loot, but it also provides some cover. So for one, it's nice because you can use it safely, but for two, you know, you could use it in a pinch, maybe even if you needed to build, if you were getting shot from multiple angles at once, you could kind of throw it down. Although, honestly, depending on the quality of the loot and those things, that probably wouldn't be my recommendation. Better to use it when you're safe and
I would get
the loot and walk away.
I would throw it at somebody in a late game who's trying to escape the storm and trap them. So they have to box or bash their way out with their pickaxe. That's the true way to use them.
That is a creative usage, my friend. I like it. But yeah, so that was basically what happened in this patch. Not a whole lot to discuss. I think everything is, you know, with World Cup, obviously that's where Epic is focused right now. And I think it's a good thing that they've kind of, you know, toned it back. They want everybody watching the World Cup this weekend anyway. They didn't want to put something super exciting into the game that was going to get everybody to be playing Fortnite rather than watching Fortnite. And I think, you know, just the fact that they're allowing you to watch Fortnite in the game client, like watch the World Cup while you're playing, it kind of like says, hey, if you're super addicted to our game, that's great. We want you to be addicted and play this game, but please watch the World Cup too. We'll give you a small window that you can put somewhere on your screen and you can watch it while you play. Rest in peace your frame rate if you don't have a top of the line computer.
Yes.
Okay, so now we'll hop into the hot takes because it just wasn't too much news to cover. Let's get started. So the first one, competitive zone wars. What you think?
Competitive zone wars. These are, I'll tell you what, these take so much time. I can't imagine to create in general, and it gives players such a interesting breeding ground, like with every perfect scenario now available that you can try and master in creative. It's something that players couldn't even imagine having over a year ago, I think, for practice. And now you have these players that are just, if they choose to, on that grind, tweaking everything, and not even like putting most of their time in creative and all their time pretty much in creative and scrims. And I mean, most of these players haven't even touched the regular game in so long because they're just playing a different game at this point.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, I mean, what's really cool about this mode is it removes a lot of the limitations that, are necessary to make Fortnite competitive in terms of like a battle royale game. So in terms of like, managing your mat econ and doing things like that. But for practice and even just for a straight up viewing experience, it's fantastic because all you're doing is fighting. You have unlimited mats, you have unlimited resources, so you don't have to worry about that. And it really doesn't, it doesn't come down to, well, like, in competitive games, it's really, really important to not only get kills at the end of the game, but get kills that you can collect. Like, you can collect the extra ammo, you can collect everything, right?
I know. That's what makes it so satisfying too, Right.
Now, you get Siphon, which is very helpful, but this is a whole new level where, you're never going to be in a position at the end of the game where you lose because you just didn't manage to get the last hit on somebody. Because let's be honest, in some of these late game scenarios, it's not even about like killing someone as much as it is about getting that last hit, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like, oh, I outplayed this person from, A to Z and I just did such a good job in this fight. It's like, no, this person was being shot at by 7 different people in the lobby who realized he was in a terrible position. And I either get the last hit or I don't. Right. And that can make the difference between winning and losing, because then you have 100 mats at the end of the game instead of 500 or something. Right. If you get a couple of those last hits, that can really help you, and that can put you in a better position so that you're not stuck without being able to build at the very end of the game against the very best players. This alleviates that concern because you can just build and it makes sure that the best player, the most strategic player, can win without necessarily worrying about mat economy or some of these other things that I think are really great limitations for Fortnite in the battle royale sense. But I think that there's a huge potential to play Fortnite without those limitations as well.
And it makes it tougher. I guess they're going to see how things go for this weekend for the World Cup and see what they do beyond as far as, in terms of Epic Games, because you have Friday is going to be creative finals, which they're probably going to use that to experiment or continue to experiment a little bit more with different ideas that they're going to implement later in the competitive for duos and solos, but also trios are going to be a thing eventually. So that's going to be down the line. And there are so many ways now to practice, but these players need something that they obviously, since there's no custom lobbies available yet in very selective groups. So these players need every chance they can get to emulate a scenario where they're going to be playing against the best people in the world, or have their back against the wall. You want to make sure that you can try to play from every scenario. But as it goes on and people are tweaking the game more and tweaking the practice more, and things are changing in the game, and the game itself is starting differently, or people want you to start with weapons now, or like a pistol, for example, it starts to deviate a little bit more now from what a battle royale would be. So I guess it's up to Epic really to try and decide where they want to draw that line.
I mean, do you think so, though? Because for me, I think what a lot of this is like the battle royale game genre is so new still, right? Like, we have to remember that this is still a very new genre of game. Like, shooters have been around forever, right? MOBAs have been around for a long time now. Those things have been kind of figured out and articulated. What hasn't been is battle royales. They're still very, very new. So I think when you're talking about introducing something like a pistol start, that's, I think, a modification that alleviates a major pain point for a lot of players in battle royale genre, which is it's super frustrating to have 4 people land in a populated area and not have a gun right away or get beat to a chest, or you go around, you loot a building and there's no weapons there. There's maybe band-aids and some mini shields or something, but you don't get an actual gun. Or maybe you get some grenades, right? Like at least with a pistol, you stand a chance at shooting somebody and doing something, right? So I'm not entirely sure if it's. I think there's like a lot of room, and I think as a player base, we have to kind of be open to the game evolving and like the modes evolving, because there's still so much to learn and articulate and fine tune with such a new game genre. And I think something like this creative, like these creative trials where, excuse me, this is by far the most popular mode in creative. Zone Wars is like the mode that is filled up all the time. It's difficult to get into the games. People just hop in right away. They fill those lobbies. People want to play this. And I think, that speaks a lot. Like, okay, I've said this before on the show, but obviously, I come from Halo. And Griffball is what this reminds me of in an extent, where it spawned its own community of people who really, really enjoyed playing Griffball. And it became like, it was never an esport the way that, MLG competitive Halo was. But there's a passionate, vibrant community that exclusively played Griffball and took it seriously and played to win and like had tournaments and all these sorts of things. And I don't see why with a game like Fortnite, we won't see a very similar development and a similar evolution of game modes being introduced that are taken seriously. Now, will they be as serious or as competitive as the #1 Battle Royale mode? Maybe not. But I don't see why this couldn't be its own competition at next year's World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. The way these players are mastering the game now, I can't imagine how things are going to look even in a year from now, or what the game itself is going to look like. But you pretty much hit the nail on the head. I mean, this game is adapting or evolving in so many different ways, and players obviously have their own play styles and the way they want to play. But the best part about these Zone Wars too is that you get right into the game and right into the most climactic part of the game, because there are so many discords and scrims that get set up where you have to fight all the way to the end. It's a whole process, 15 minutes or even, that you have to go through to try and simulate this type of scenario. But now you have creative to help do that for you. It's just something that's going to get more and more popular.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, this is fantastic practice, right? So if you're a competitive player and you're looking to get better, this would definitely be one of the ways that I recommend doing so, because it puts you into the thick of it right away. All that matters is you're building, you're positioning, avoiding the storm. Like it gives you late game practice. And the crazy thing about Fortnite in general is that if you're good at the late game, you're going to be good at the early game, because the late game is the early game on steroids times a million. It's super chaotic. It's super full of action. So super, super excited to see how this develops, because I do think that there's a potential here for a competitive mode. And just quick shout out to Jarvis for the video, using him in the background here while we talk, because the FaZe guys love playing this, and I think that articulates it. That proves the point to an extent. Like FaZe has an incredible competitive team. All their players are top caliber. Like even amongst pros, like these FaZe guys are some of the best that there are, and they spend hours a day playing this game mode. Yeah. And sure, it's great for viewership, and I'm sure that contributes. If it was terrible for viewership on their streams, they wouldn't play it. But you watch their streams or you watch their YouTube videos, they're not doing this monotonously. Like they're having a lot of fun playing this mode, right? So I think there's a future in this, and I thought the Reddit thread was really interesting. A lot of people seem to agree and seem to want it. So Epic is pretty responsive to the community. I wouldn't be surprised if they at least tinker with this next season, see if they can maybe throw a couple tournaments, one of those cups in. You know what I mean? One of those online cups for the weekend. Just see if it works. See how excited people get. See what the viewership's like. See what the entry levels are like, and how many entry people participate. And who knows? But
Zone Wars they could call it, like, if they need a description for it, call it Blitz on steroids, because that's pretty much what Zone Wars is.
Oh man, definitely. Okay, so for our other hot take is exactly what you were talking about, a little bit earlier, where I kind of jumped in and was like, yeah, breaks real fast. I wanted to get into this now, is the fact that Epic is now really starting to show, even though earlier, I mean, I think everybody remembers the statement they made earlier this year where they said the loot pools would not be separated. They're going to be the same loot pool in arena and regular. And now that's no longer the case, right? You're starting to see different loot pools. I mean, even in like the Trios Cash Cup and the Xbox Cup and some of the last weeks of competition, they removed the airstrikes. They removed the storm flip. I think, they realized, like, this is really fun, but it's not healthy for competitive gameplay.
And it's also not healthy for the spectator view.
No, No, not at all.
Very
And
confusing.
for me, this was like fantastic that they're doing this because I think this is the compromise that is the right one for what Epic's goals are and what the community wants and what they want to do. They want to be able to release new, engaging, cool items that get people to sign on to the game and play it, right? Mm-hmm. And it doesn't really matter how competitive or anything like that. That shouldn't be a consideration. You know, as much as I'm a fan of competitive play, I don't think they should be taking any of that into account in terms of releasing new items. Like they should be having fun with releasing stuff like swords and you know, the airstrikes and stuff like that. Like it's what keeps Fortnite fresh for the casual player. And as much as I'm into the competitive community, we have to remember that we are not the majority of Fortnite players, right? Like there's a lot of kids who play Fortnite who do it for fun with their friends. Yes. So this balance allows them to drop these new items, give the casual community a lot of really fun stuff to mess around with and play with and make the game feel completely different week to week, but allows the competitive community to have some semblance of normalcy and know, okay, if something feels really dumb or broken, it's not going to be introduced into my career. Because for some of these guys, I mean, everybody who's at the World Cup this weekend, this is their career. Mm-hmm. You're talking about like swapping the rules of basketball in the NBA to where you're playing with a weighted ball or to where there's like two balls. You know what I mean? Like just really weird stuff. And for the competitive community, that doesn't make any sense. That's counterproductive to your competitive scene. That's how you get people to quit playing the game. And I think, you know, I remember we talked to a Spaceman after the week after this happened, but when you have competitive players saying, I don't like what Epic's doing with the game, we're quitting, it's getting dumb. Yeah. I think that's a big eye opener for them that goes, okay, maybe we should have slightly different rules. And if the majority of the game is similar, like you're talking about Siphon, honestly, a casual player might not even notice that watching the game, that they're like, oh, why is this guy getting health and shields and mats when he gets a kill? Like, why doesn't that happen in normal? Like they're not noticing that level of detail. And the fact that a few items are simply absent from the game, I think it's a good thing.
If you're a new player, I don't even think that the Siphon is going to matter because it's if you've played with it a long time or played without it for a long time and then played with it and then played without it again, yeah, you notice that difference, like how everybody reacted to it when it got removed. But yeah, if you're a new player, that's something where I don't think that that's the reason that you would log into the game or download and log into the game. That it's not that. So I think things like that are so integral to helping the competitive community and don't make a difference at all when it comes to the viewer perspective.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And I think, you know, this is the balance that a lot of the competitive community has been asking for, and it's the right balance. So honestly, if Epic keeps doing this, like I've seen some people say that it's just because the World Cup is next week. And that's why they're, you know, trying to mess with some things. But honestly, I think moving forward, the praise that they're getting from the competitive community and how the casual community is probably not reacting at all in a negative way is going to make them think, maybe we're onto something here, guys. Maybe this is how we do this. And we get the best of both worlds. We get a competitive game where we can introduce crazy, wacky items into on the fun side. And if they make it and you don't hear crazy uproar or you start hearing people going competitive, yeah, this could be in the game. Why not? And you pull it in. But you avoid stuff like putting airstrikes in or, you know, storm flips or swords or any of the other stuff that's kind of come into the game and made half the competitive community pull out their hair. So I think it's the right thing to do.
It's funny because so many people were speculating months ago that, like, man, if they're doing this now for these events, updating the game the way that they are right before major events, what is the World Cup going to look like? People were speculating on that they're going to have a massive map change or something. And hey, I thought it was going to happen after this weekend event, which, by the way, was incredible. So good. I think that's what a lot of people were really afraid of. So now they're just in this stage where they might be learning from past mistakes. And I think since the competitive reach or just overall reach is probably going to maximize this weekend, as close as it's been since it was at its normal peak, probably within, you know, last summer. So this is going to be the best time for them to try and bring back any former players, try to bring in obviously casual players. And speaking of which, man, I mean, the World Cup in general, they're decking out New York for this thing. So it's going to attract a lot of attention. And if you haven't heard of Fortnite already, you're going to.
Honestly, I don't know how many people haven't heard of Fortnite already. Because like my
like
mom
all
knows
of our
what
parents
Fortnite
have.
is,
Yeah,
okay?
like that's
you know what I mean. She's
Once
like,
it
"What's
hits
this
that
Fortnite
generation,
thing?"
it's even
It's
hit
like
grandparents, I think.
yeah,
Sure.
there's definitely some grandparents who know about it too. So it's just it's reached maximum popularity level. I think what they wanted to avoid more than anything was a huge outcry by the competitive community and by the players and by the people playing the game, saying this is not representative of what Fortnite is, and this is a sham, and this is a joke, and it's too much money's on the line, right? So I think honestly their decision making has been on point the last couple weeks in terms of the items they've decided to exclude from competitions, and I hope that they continue to do so moving forward.
Yeah, without a doubt, I agree. It's gonna be crazy, man. It's
I'm excited, dude.
Not a lot of matches, and they're gonna figure out who's the winner within I think 3-4 hours.
Yeah. Well, it's one day each, right? Saturday is duos, yep. Sunday is solos. So what a great way to end the tournament too. You're gonna have the #1 undisputed best player in the world.
I agree. It's gonna be so fun.
I want to come back to this to end the episode. But
yeah, I agree.
Let's hop into clips of the week really fast and show you guys what we found. Friendly reminder, friendly PSA, send me your clips.
Yes.
I know that didn't sound friendly, but like it is. Come on, guys. I like seeing people get dummied, okay? Like I enjoy it. Makes me happy. Makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. And if you do something nasty, send me that. And maybe you'll be on next week's clip of the week. But without further ado, let's hop in. Clip number 1. This guy's name kills me, man. Ramen noodle bowl?
Ramen noodle cup.
Oh, cup. Oh, ramen. Oh God.
I already like the name, so he's got a plus with me.
Yes.
Trying to get. Oh, he won't. No. Through the door?
Through the door.
You can do that. Oh,
you can do that.
Oh no.
Right?
No.
Right?
No.
And the headshot for good measure too. I mean, I think I love the fact that they make the headshots on this like 392 damage. Like that is so excessive.
Overkill.
It's like overkill to the max, but it's fantastic. So that was clip number 1, Ramen Noodle Cup. Clip number 2, Butters FN_YT, aka Butters Fortnite YouTube. Let's check it out.
Ooh. Had him after the first one.
Yeah, right? He used that shockwave grenade to just blow himself over there, get that shotgun kill. Yeah, me too, man. They're so much fun. But a great use there of repositioning tool while hitting a nice shot in the air. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Clip number 3, Clutch_JC.
What's he doing?
This one made me happy.
Oh.
He doesn't kill him, but he's like, I'm not done hunting this guy yet. He finds him again.
So mad if I was that dude. How are you supposed to?
Like, unfortunately, he didn't hit the headshot.
Poor guy.
Which almost made me go, this doesn't deserve it. But then the fact that he hit him again, second shot, consecutive in the air shots that far away, I was like, you know what? Consistency, my friend. You know what I mean? I appreciate the consistency in this clip. Like, this guy clearly has his angles down.
Cracking the shield, and then he's like, as patient as he can be. Man, what a way to lie to shut up.
Like, so impressive. So impressive. So that was a great job by Clutch JC. And now clip number 4, One Shot Girl. I think she's like a pretty big streamer.
Yes.
Similar clip. But
oh!
I'm sorry, I've never really hit one of those.
The reaction from me made it better, I'm not gonna lie.
Yo, she's been around the block before. She has done this before. She don't let that fool you. She's a pro at this.
I'm sorry, I've never really hit one of those.
Well, there you go. She managed to hit that one. So, all right, guys, drum roll, please. Drum roll, please.
What do we got going for our vote?
Clutch.
Oh.
Clutch JC. Wow. No love for One Shot Girl, huh? That's too bad. But yeah, Clutch. double shots. I like that the people agreed with me. The consistency there was key. That was beautiful. Hitting back to backs.
So good.
Man,
I mean, you can't deny that.
Yeah, it's
like, can you get 2 lucky shots like that, or I don't know, because this guy is clearly skilled.
No.
He's got the dark or the red knight shield. He's definitely an OG.
Oh, 100%. 100%. This is like, that plays a lot of Fortnite.
This man deserves, give him 100 more arena points after that one. For that elimination.
Right?
Yes,
I mean, yeah, he's playing low-level arena right now, but hitting those shots has nothing to do with it. No. You know, those are hard shots to hit, and you can hit those at any level of arena. That player really didn't have too many options. So, great job, Clutch. Congratulations. We're happy that you won. We agree with the chat and the voter. This is fantastic. This is not a week where we have to like question everything. So thank you guys.
The last couple weeks have been good.
Yeah, the last couple weeks have been good. That is true. I think the last one that was egregious was the week that you were in Orlando with your family.
I remember watching that. I got to be on the viewers end of that, which was exciting.
Ball and I were kind of disturbed. But, anyways, guys, those clips were all pretty good this week. I enjoyed all of them. So, you know, congrats to everybody who made it into the little montage there, and better luck next time. Remember, if you have a good clip, send it to me and you can be featured next week or the weeks after. You can send it to me on Twitter. Find my handle down there in the ticker. You can send it to @TiltedTalkShow, or you can join our Discord. We have a Discord for this show where we have all sorts of people and people who want viewers and all that sort of stuff. And you can find teammates or send us your clips. So whichever way is easiest for you, whichever way you prefer, don't be afraid. We actually did get a question though this week, and I wanted to hit you with it.
Great.
Who are you rooting for at Worlds in particular? This question comes from John Flight _ on Twitch.
All right. So that's obviously a tough question. It's so broad. You have 50 duos, 100 solos. So, well, it's going to be tough to decide. I definitely have my eyes on, as far as duos go, Saf and Zayt. Got big hopes for them. Mongro and Mitro, can't deny them. They're probably going to be the favorite duo, I think, as far as technicality goes. And then for solos though, you gotta. I want to give a shout out to Aspect, who did qualify for it. So hopefully, and he was a guest on our show a few weeks back. So hopefully he ends up doing amazing. Gotta give the love to Tfue. How great would it be if Tfue walked away with it, just to solidify his spot? But to be a little more, I don't know, creative. I mean, you have so many players that qualified multiple times. So, I mean, you have Mongo and Mitro, I think, that are solos themselves.
Yep.
You have Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage, who is a prodigy. Both of them. I mean, there are so many to choose from straight up. But those are the names that are going to be jumping out at me this weekend. I'm going all in on Zayt. Yeah. I want the dude to, man, he represents Canada. He's really talented player. Him and Zaf are a great duo. I think, you know, like you said, there's no denying that Mongrel and Nitro or Mitro, sorry, are up there in terms of the people that are expected to win. But, you know, this question wasn't who are we expecting to win? It's who are we rooting for? True. So I got to root for the Canadian man who's, you know, I think he's been a great exemplar of what esports can be. You know, he's polite, he gets hyped about things, he likes playing the game, he's very talented at it, he's positive, all that rolls into it. I think he's a great ambassador for what competitive Fortnite can be and should be. Yep. So, and I mean, there's no denying how talented him and Saf are either. Like, they are so good at duos. They won the Trios Cash Cup there with Robbie Bizzle, or not Robbie Bizzle, good God. Halo days, just Bizzle in general, just regular Bizzle. Well, speaking of which, I gotta give a shout out to Bizzle too. He's also gonna be a good name, I think, to look out for in solos. He qualified early too, so. Oh yeah, no, he's super talented. He's been ready. There is no doubt that guy's someone to keep your eye on. He will 100% be up near the top. Yeah. You know, he was even on that, like last week we were going over the betting odds that came out of Vegas, and he was up there, right? So it's like, you don't get up to the top there without being being widely recognized, and B, being widely recognized as one of the top competitors, right? Somebody that can actually win. No one's betting on you just because they like you.
People, that might be the differentiating factor between a couple of the top tier players who has the bigger audience, etc. But to be considered in that top tier of people who actually have a shot to win, you have to be one of the elite talents in the game. So there's no doubt that he is one of those. But yeah, for me, it's Zeit all the way, man. He qualified for solos as well, so I'm wishing him the best of luck. Represent Canada proudly, my friend.
It's gonna be a good weekend.
Oh, dude, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Is there anything else you wanted to hit off here before we wrap this thing up and shut her down?
Oh man, it's just been a long time coming, waiting for the World Cup. I'm excited to see who comes out the other end with all when it's all said and done, and hope they have a lot of good stuff in store in terms of announcements. So I hope there's maybe a roadmap or something to look forward to after this.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm expecting that we're going to get a roadmap of some sort for the next at least couple of months, or some ideas of when we'll see that roadmap if they don't announce it. I would be very surprised if they keep us in the dark on what the future is going to be. So really looking forward to this weekend. Should be a lot of fun. Guys, enjoy the weekend. This is going to be great. One last thing to kind of mention to all of you. If you want certain people to appear on this show, either message me and say, hey, it would be really cool if you could get this person, or even better, tweet at them. Tag us both in the message and say this person needs to be on your show, and we'll see if we can get a little
rattle
bit of
their cages.
Pressure. Yeah, put get into their psyche a little bit and kind of mob them and tell them to come on, and we'll make that happen for you. So thank you so much for watching. If you've stuck around with us the entire night, we really appreciate it. Don't forget to follow @TiltedTalkShow on Twitter, or my good friend Tyler here, and join our Discord if you want to keep in touch with us and talk Fortnite all week long. But until next week, guys, take care and have fun watching this World Cup.
Peace.
Peace.